Hello everyone, I'm Viona. Today I will present about paper by Milesi and Maldonado entitled Data Storytelling in Learning Analytics, a qualitative investigation into educators' perception of benefit and risk. This is today's agenda from introduction, data storytelling background, method, result, discussion, limitation, and conclusion. Dashboard and other data visualization have become most common form of learning analytics user interface, highlighting effective visual implementation in leveraging data. Yet, as volume of learning data expands both in size and complexity, it has become progressively challenging for educators. In response, notion of data storytelling is gaining prominence as an effective approach to communicate insight by combining both narrative and graph. And as in LA research grow, some aspects are yet to be explored, such as educator engagement or potential misuse. Next is data storytelling background. There are two visualizations, exploratory for data expertise and explanatory for non-data expertise. There are also four features in data storytelling that I will tell you in the next slide. This is the example. The left side is exploratory graph and the right side is explanatory graph. Can you see which one is more understandable? Yes, the right side, explanatory graph. And this is for the data storytelling features. The first is prescriptive title. It is a brief message intended to provide the main takeaway data story or insight from the visualization. You can check the table with or without prescriptive title. The second is highlighting important data points. It's leveraging visual elements such as color, contrast to emphasize or draw focus into the visualization information. You can see the difference between no highlight data and highlight data. The third is annotation, used to text to highlight key information, explain trends, and or communicate data story. You also can see the difference, the chart with annotation or without annotation. The fourth is decluttering. This is removing or de-emphasizing visual elements such as grid line that distract from data story of the visualization. There are ethics in data visualization that designers need to be aware that the different audience will process visual information differently and therefore may not derive the same meaning from the same visualization. And based on the literature works, there are three research questions that address in this study. The first is RQ1. To what extent can educational stakeholders identify key insights from LA visualization that contain data storytelling features versus conventional visualization? RQ2. How do different educational stakeholders perceive the potential value of DS features? And 3. How do different educational stakeholders perceive the role that the visualization designer has? The study design context will be focused on educational stakeholders from an introductory coding program at Martinez-Maldonado University. There are 10 stakeholders in scenario, 2 from student engagement staff or SE, 4 lead educators or E, 4 tutors or T. The study also designed in 90-minute Zoom interview using a think aloud protocol, and they were asked to do a pre-interview survey to describe self-efficacy in their capabilities. They also given the drugs and visualization design prototypes. This is the visualization design that used in the study design. There are 2 pairs of exploratory and 2 pairs of explanatory version. For task 1, addressed to RQ1, participants were exposed to the 2 prototypes and submit their insight via Google Form. For task 2, addressed to RQ2, participants were asked to reflect value of DS features by evaluating their perceived helpfulness on a scale -2 to +2. Task 3, RQ3, participants were allowed to create their own DS enhanced prototype visualization on Google Sheets or CoDesign. and all will be analyzed using one AI language studio. Let's continue with the result from the study design. For task 1 or RQ1, all of the participants agree to have ability to derive insight from the S. But they have different opinions on the type of chart, where some like bar chart, but some also critical to the waffle chart. For use of colors, most participants describe red as alarmist and green as calming and relaxing. And for insight from explanatory and exploratory visualization, some note that insights were hard to derive without additional context or description. Task 2 result for RQ2, participants mostly found these DS features to be helpful, with highlighting important data points and annotations rate favorably high. Decluttering ran lower because they think the others are more important features. They also concerned that TS are not objective because they don't present the entire data. That's the result for RQ2 Perception of Visualization Designer. All use variation of bar chart and 7 out of 10 prefer descriptive title over a prescriptive title in co-design. For ethical obligation of the VD, all concerned that VD are potential to portray a manipulative story or self-serving manner. In terms of expertise of VD, they state that designer may not possess the necessary skill. And for manipulative potential of the S, they state there is a danger to introduce their own bias. This is the discussion what knowledge we can derive from the result. This is the implication for research and practice. From the RQ1 result, the chart type influenced their ability to understand the information and extract insight, which is also supported by Zarmonic et al. In 2022. Participant of 10 associated the color with an emotion rather than to highlight data points. And in summary, results from task 1 reveal that stakeholder ability to interpret the S enhanced a visualization. For task 2 or RQ2 result, participants believe that the addition of the S enables them to understand the key ideas and insight. Participants prefer descriptive over prescriptive title. With this might suggest that educational stakeholders need further exposure or trainings to utilize these DS features. And educational stakeholders also lack of visualization design skill can pose challenge for LA designer. For RQ3 result, participants believe that the DS designer need to have necessary expertise and data literacy to be able to uncover key insight, emphasize, and tell an impactful story. Yet it was also noted that a lack of awareness of the audience could also damage the impact of the story. In Perception of Visualization Designer, the authors suggest 4 recommendations. The first is LF visualization can incorporate meaningful textual elements to guide the educational stakeholder. The second is LI designer, researcher, analyst, and other stakeholders should work together. Third is the S features that relate to attention can be used strategically. And the fourth, LA designers might consider to enhance the communicative effectiveness on LI dashboard. This is the last section. Limitation of these studies come from its reliance on the case study methodology. Their future research also seek to utilize DS co-design activities that can explore the potentially different type of visualization that educational stakeholders create. The conclusion of this paper, results show that educational stakeholders are open to meaningful integration of DS in LA visualization. They also express a positive response to DS features, and while DS enhanced visualization have the potential to aid in sense-making and decision-making, they also express concern over the potential misuse of DS, such as manipulative or self-serving manner. This is all of the presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.